All right, according to this, I am live. It doesn't look like I have anyone attending. So um, if you pop in, go ahead and you can go into the chat room and ask questions, and I'll be looking at the chat periodically. All right, I'm going to do a few checks in here. It doesn't look like the Hangout is on air, but we'll see. Well, we're going to move forward anyway. My big concern with this right now really is that you all can see and that this is focused. So if you're here, please say hi so that I know that you're able to hear me and you're able to see the area here. If you can type in the chat, you should be able to see a chat in there. And I'm not seeing anyone typing anything. I'm just going to go ahead because if this doesn't work, at least I'll get the footage and I'll go ahead and post this on YouTube and you can all watch it. I want to thank you. Hi. Oh my gosh. Yay. I've got people on here. I'm sorry you can't see me, but I'm trying to get the video right here of what I'm working on. All right. So today I promised that I was going to share with you how to do curves with a skew. Now, I don't know what level you guys are at, so I'm going to go right ahead and explain what a skew is, okay? A skew is any type of a blade tool, okay? This is one type of skew, and this particular skew, grab a pencil here, this particular skew has a pointed edge right here on the tip and more of a rounded belly, okay? So this is one type of skew. Some skews have two pointed ends. I don't use those very often. Actually, I don't even have any. And this is also a skew. All right, this one is rounded throughout. So I'm going to go ahead and demonstrate with both of these. All right, first thing I'm going to do is turn on my burner and warm it up. Okay, now it'll depend on what type of curves you want to do. If you want to do large curves, if you want to do short curves, small curves, that all depends how tightly, whether you're going to do the rolling technique, and really what all the rolling technique is this. You see how I'm rolling that with my fingers? That's the rolling technique. And the way that works, okay, I've got a little bit of heat here, is simply like this. Because if you try and drag, you can see what happens here, all right? It just cuts right into your wood. It gives you a really ugly, ugly curve. But when you roll, it's a nice smooth line. Can you guys see that? I'm looking on my computer and it seems like it's completely out of focus. Can you guys see what I'm doing? All right, so as I roll, now this does take some practice, and if you'll notice, here, take a look, I have almost no heat, okay? So you want to keep your heat low, you want to give yourself time, and it needs to be a smooth roll, so it will take a little bit of practice. Now, if you're looking to do something really, really fine, like let's say you wanted to do a curve that was very tiny, like let's say this circle here, you wanted to go around this circle. What I recommend at this time is what I call the stitch technique. Now you have to have your heat way down on the stitch technique, because what you're going to do is you're going to land, and you might even curve a tiny bit, and then you're going to get up. And then what you're going to do is you're going to stitch that curve together like this. Oops. I'm not right on top of it. I need to be on top of it so I see what I'm doing. I call this the stitch technique because it reminds me of a sewing machine going up and down. And what you really want to try and do is be perpendicular to your wood. There we go. Okay, and there you have a very tight curve. And again, what I was doing is going up and down, up and down, up and down. Now you can also stitch together longer curves. You can curve like this, Stitch right on there. And if you've ever done any sewing, you're familiar with something called a back stitch. And what a back stitch is that you sew and then you go back over a little bit and you connect the stitch. And that's pretty much what I'm doing here. I'm going back over and connecting that curve. And I'll often go back over and clean them up too. Right in there and around. Okay. Does anybody have any questions? If you want to type them in the chat. Okay, I'm not seeing any questions. Hopefully it's not because you're bored stiff or can't see anything. So let's see, can I think of anything else? What questions might you have? I guess the best tips I can give you is watch your heat. Make sure your heat is pretty low so you have plenty of time to do this. It's a slow process, you guys. Don't try and speed it up. It's pretty slow, but it'll allow you to do a really good job right from the beginning. Okay, so keep your heat low. And also you want to watch for the grain. When you hit the grain, you're going to know it. You're going to feel it, okay? It is going to burn a little darker. If you see that, grain is going this way. You'll see that it was light, light, light. It got dark when I hit the grain and then light. Also watch your pressure. If you're pushing too hard, it's going to make it harder for you. Oh, you're buffering. Ugh, darn buffering. Yeah, no problem. You can watch this on YouTube. I will clean this up. I might actually retape this, record this, re-record this so that it's a little bit cleaner. You guys can see it because on my screen it looks like it's not even in focus. But I want to thank you for being here. And definitely look for a post in a little while on YouTube. I'm going to take a look at this video and see if it's any good. How smooth do I sand my wood? Great question. Sand your wood as smooth as possible. I know people who will go up to 900 grit. That really depends on the amount of detail you're putting in there. If it's going to be more rustic and you don't have a whole heck of a lot of detail, you could get away with maybe 200 grit. But if you're going to do a lot of smooth shading in particular, portraits, things of that sort, I would recommend go up as high as 900. Also watch the type of wood you're using. Some woods are just going to be a challenge, like pine or ash. Those are going to be really challenging. If you want to do very, very smooth shading, you might want to stick to something like basswood. That's a really good wood. Oh, someone is saying thank you very much for doing this. Well, you are very welcome, and thank you for being my guinea pigs. I welcome your feedback. I hope that this is clear enough and helps you out. I have other platforms that I'm testing. So I thank you for popping in here with me. And my big concern, honestly, with this platform is that you guys can actually see. So I will be taking a look at the video. It's really important for you to be able to see what's going on. So do I have any tips for burning on spheres? Oh, a curved surface. Oh, that's a whole topic in and of itself. Let me clarify that question. Burning on spheres as in transferring the pattern and doing adjustments, or burning on spheres as to how to hold it? I would have to ask you to clarify that question. Yes, I will keep the videos and articles coming. Thanks for watching and for listening and reading. Yeah, that's a really great question for burning on spheres. You know what? Please email me with a little bit more information on that, as to whether you're asking about what do I do on the actual pattern for burning on spheres, or how do you hold the sphere, because that can be a challenge. How to hold it? Okay. Well, that depends. I'll usually use towels. I'll put towels on the bottom and then put my sphere on it. If it's really big, like I'll do vases, I'll put them on my lap. Gourds are another one. Sometimes you could put pillows on your lap and then a towel to cradle it. And always make sure you have, you know what, you guys are just looking at this. I'm going to put this up toward me so you can actually see me. Not that there's much to see, but there we go. Hey, everybody. Okay, so I'm going to move back so I can kind of explain what I'm talking about. When you're burning on a sphere, okay, or like I do vases, all right, you could put a few pillows on your lap, and then I'll take a clean towel and I'll cradle the vase on the towel or the gourd. All right, but what you want to do is you also want to have something to support your arm. Now, if you could do it on a table, that's great, but if it's kind of big, what you end up doing is this, and that'll hurt your arm after a while. You also won't have good control on your hand. So I like to work like this and try and keep my shoulders and my neck down so that it's comfortable. So I rig up all sorts of crazy stuff when I'm doing my wood burning. Sometimes I'll do it on a couch, like if I'm working on a large vase, and then I'll use the armrest to support my hand, because especially if you're doing fine detail, you want some support on your hand. I hope that answers your question. Let's see, do we have anything else in chat? Do I have information on burning tawa nuts? I do have one video on my website, so look under videos, and I think I was burning a wolf at that point. And I do give, is it a video? Or was it, I don't remember if it was a video or an article, but there is something on tawa nuts. And one of the things you want to watch on tawa nuts is that oils seep out when you're burning on the tawa nut. And at the beginning, I used to think, oh, this is so messy and so yucky. But if you work on it and it starts to seep out because it comes out really dark, you can almost paint with it. So check out that video. I do show some of that on there. Now what you do is when it begins to get kind of bubbly, you simply smear it on and it gives a really cool effect. Those are fun to burn. What else? Okay, you guys have any more questions? I'll wait for a second. Thank you. Those of you who came, let's see how many people we got in here. I have got 10 people on here. Awesome. So, okay. Yeah, like I said, I welcome your feedback. Let me know, was this worthwhile? Is this a format, you know, if I do a weekly Q&A that you guys would like to pop in and ask me questions, and I'll be happy to answer. If you can even see what I was doing, I hope you got a clear view of what I was doing. So, all right. Well, if there are no more questions, I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up. And I want to thank every one of you for being here. I appreciate it, and I will be posting this onto YouTube so you can watch it later. Thanks, everybody. Bye.